Hey all viewers and viewresses, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome to a video idea that myself and Phil have been floating for a while and which we have had some positive responses to. So Phil, would you like to give a quick introduction as to what we're actually doing today?
Yes, hello guys, hopefully the viewers are doing all okay. So here we are. I'm not with Andrew as in the past few videos where I was actually came over to visit. I'm back at home now. But yes, you floated around quite a while ago about in a So You've Been Hunted episode, wasn't it? I believe.
Yes, it was the best and worst. Quite a while ago.
Well, not that.
Not just that, but yeah, other ones as well.
One.
Yeah, indeed, that one too.
Yeah, where we asked to see if we wanted to see the last call for London map, which is which is going to be our adventure map that we were planning to do.
Yeah. So in the past,
a bit of an explanation as to what we're going to do.
What we were going to do, back in the day.
Yeah.
So basically, if you watch the channel religiously, you'll probably know before that prior to me obviously starting up this channel, me and Phil had a shared channel, the VA Brits.
That was it?
Yeah, back in 2011 or whenever it was, and we used to do a lot of Minecraft content, and we had a lot of big plans for things that we were going to do, but which ultimately never came to fruition. And this well, what we're about to show you is one of the things we were planning to do, which sadly never came to be and is highly unlikely to ever come to be, if we're being kind of brutally honest. But
yes, very unfortunate.
So you guys out there watching, you're probably aware of things like Shadow of Israfel, stuff like that, old sort of story series that certain channels on YouTube used to do back in the day. Well, Last Call for London, as it was called, ladies and gentlemen.
Wasn't there one that... Was it Bashcraft?
Bashcraft, Legend of Hobo. That was another one. Well. Yeah. But Last Call for London was going to be our series that we were going to do on the VA Brits before, unfortunately, it kind of fell through and didn't really go anywhere. So you're already seeing probably this big build up here. For anyone who doesn't know, this is meant to be Westminster Bridge, ladies and gentlemen, that you're seeing. It's quite big, stretches right off over there. And we're going to give you a guided tour of this map. So... I'll give a
Just before we give the guided tour, I'll just do an explanation of the storyline that we were planning to do for this Last Call for London. So the idea was that we're a band. So it started off as sort of we were just normal civilians, just walking around London, just having on a day trip to London, and that's one until one day. An evil villain came into our dimension. I believe his name was going to be called Duke Diesel.
That was the guy, yeah. So that was going to be our villain, Duke Diesel, coming from another dimension.
And he came through basically and decided to suck up London and take it away and throw it through many dimensions across time and space.
Yeah.
So that'd be the main one, and. They get stuck up, and we got unfortunately thrown into this mess. Which is happening, and he'd take it away, and the idea would be we go across these different time zones in history.
Yes.
And try and retrieve these sort of devices that would allow us to bring London back.
Yeah. That was the essence of the storyline, yeah. So it was going to be like a sci-fi time-travelling adventure, like Phil says, London would basically be taken away into another dimension by this evil villain, and then we'd have to go on like a big sort of time-travelling adventure through various periods of history to recover a series of devices, which will enable us to save the city, basically. So, Phil pretty much summed that up.
But we weren't alone, were we?
Yes.
We met up with a superhero group.
Yeah, so the idea was there would be like this group, I think... if I remember correctly, their name would be the Aeon Avengers. They'd basically be like a kind of like a group of characters from all over history who effectively are kind of like the enemies of Duke Diesel, the good guys, and we team up with them and we go on adventures with their little group. So we're going to showcase the map, at least, what we managed to build of it.
We managed to get what you, should we say?
Yeah, I should say what I managed to build, because thing is, most of what you're about to see, ladies and gentlemen, I was the one who kind of built it. I was very much the chief builder behind this map, and we never got it completed, but we did. I did manage to build a fair amount of it. And
I think we got was it 10 time zones we were going for?
Yeah, we were going to go for like 10 periods of history that we travelled to.
But not just the past, we also chose some of the future.
Yes, that's right.
Future as well.
You'll see some of those in due course, and we'll explain what sort of ones that we were actually going to go to. So, as we're starting out here on Westminster Bridge, you can see some stuff coming into view over there. Now, the thing is, I will say this, probably about 80 or 90% of the things that you're going to see on this map were not actually built in game. They were built in MC Edit, which back in the day was a map making program. You could open your Minecraft maps in it, you could edit them, you could do all kinds of stuff.
A bit like world edit in multiplayer.
Indeed. And the thing is, like, I do occasionally come back to this map, sometimes in my own time, and just build bits on it and just maybe modify things. So the thing is, like, some of you will be seeing, like, some of these vehicles that you're seeing that I've got built. Some of them appear to be sort of built out of wool, because this map, I first started creating it back in like 2012, 2013, and that was before coloured concrete was a thing in the game, like you see here. And sometimes I, like to come back and I just like to modify things. So you can see now, like, some of these vehicles have a mix of wool and concrete, which came in later.
I've got to say, with the resources you have, some of these, you've done some cracking builds.
I know, yeah. And like something else you'll see here as well.
I know, that's, look at that modesty,
Yeah, a lot of like these street lamps that you see over here, I was making with redstone lamps with just a switch on them to light them up. But you'll see one over here where actually I've used a sea lantern, which is a block that got added much later. Which you don't need redstone for.
Look at these builds, absolutely fantastic. The buses, there's the double-decker, famous red London double-decker bus.
Indeed. Here's the little driver's seat of this coach here. It's just a guy with a lever. But
that's all you need to drive a coach.
Yeah, just a lever.
Just a lever.
That's all you need.
That's all you need in today's society.
And we've got like these little Thames water buses down here, so that you can go down to like the jetty over here. So a lot of this map, basically the kind of the surface area at least, I basically used Google Maps, and I would build things using that as a reference. I'd sort of go into Street View and look at the big buildings like this. So we've got like Portcullis House. As you can see, there's not actually anything inside a lot of these buildings. They are kind of just empty shells. And some of them, I did have the intention that maybe what I would do later on is not necessarily fill them all up with stuff, but perhaps create like facades on the inside so it looks like they're full of stuff.
We wouldn't have been going into, most of the time we wouldn't be going into the buildings.
Yeah. Westminster Pier ticket booth. Here you go. You can't actually go in, but you can go down onto the pier itself.
Here and go into the boats.
Let's have a look in these boats over here. Yeah, so as you can see, it's quite sort of long, and some of the surfaces are quite sort of flat, but that's something which, occasionally when I do come back to this map, I like to try and improve a bit, maybe sort of break up some of the flat surfaces with details and things like that. But we've got our Thames sort of water bus ferries here. Yeah, it's got like a little compartment back here, cookies in the chests apparently.
Now, I'm not 100% familiar with London, but I believe that for those who are unsure of what the Thames riverboats are, because you might be from other countries, you don't know what it is. I think, if I'm not mistaken, although I could very much be mistaken because my knowledge of London isn't that great, but I believe the Thames riverboats, you pay and you get to go on a ride across the Thames just to see what it's like and experience a little ride across it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think you can do it in Paris. I think you can go across the Seine.
Yes.
Because I think I did it when I had a school trip.
Yeah, basically that's what they essentially are. You can use them as a form of public transport to get from one part of London to another down the river, or you can just, if you're a tourist, you can just use them to get a kind of like a sightseeing view of London from the water and all that. So I put a couple of these inside. I put this one here. I put one going under the bridge that you can see over there.
Give it a bit of authenticity.
Yeah, and I've got like
an ambulance
bridge up here. Yeah.
You've got an ambulance on the road there.
Yes, there it is. Don't worry about that thing that's under the water. We'll come to that in a second, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see what that is down there. Spoiler alert, basically the Aeon Avengers, the good guys who we mentioned a moment ago, had like a spaceship that could also travel through time, and that's it down there, sort of hiding under the water. Let me just turn the rain off. There we go.
Turn the rain off. We don't need no rain. Yeah. Well, actually, it's true to form, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always raining in the UK.
Always raining in London. All right. So here's our ambulance with the little stretchers inside. And then,
beds, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can get inside.
Clever little designs.
Yeah. Part of the idea was that maybe with a lot of these vehicles, I'd like put testificates in them, maybe to make it seem like they were populated. But
like they have drivers things. Yeah.
But
what do we see here? One of the most iconic monuments of London.
Yes, that's right. Big Barry. That's the one. There we go.
Incorrect. That's Elizabeth Tower.
Okay, yes, there we are. Yes, Big Ben is the Ben. I didn't say Big Ben is the Ben. Big Ben is the bell, even.
Yes, for those who don't know, Big Ben is not the name of the tower.
Yeah.
That's, it's thought by many. No, Big Ben is actually the bell inside the tower. The tower is called the Elizabeth Tower. It used to be called the Victoria Tower.
Yeah.
But then it changed its name due to us having a new monarch.
Yeah. The thing is, this. The Elizabeth Clock Tower is probably one of the elements of the London section of this map that I am most kind of proud of, looking back on, because it just feels like, a lot of it kind of went well. Even though it's not, even though there are probably things I would change about it if I was building it now, I still look back on it. I think what a build, yeah. And it's funny because I started off, like I say, in MC Edit with like flat surfaces, and then I'd sort of build the general shape of it in there, then come in and just do the detailing in game. And it was pretty good. And of course we've got the Houses of Parliament, Westminster over here, which is a huge build, so big in fact that of course it stretches beyond the render distance.
Yeah, good old House of Parliament.
The only thing is there's
all a
few kind of holes in the roof because obviously it's made of wood.
Yeah,
this roof. It's probably when I've been in game. It's probably been raining and there's probably lightning that's just hit and caused patches of it to burn away. That's happened in a few areas on this map, but because the thing is, like as I mentioned before, when I do sometimes come back to this map, one of the things I did sometimes used to like to do in MC Edit in later versions of Minecraft was change the wool blocks for concrete ones, because obviously they don't burn. But of course, problem is MC Edit, Minecraft's been through so many updates since I last sort of did any work on this map that MC Edit sadly doesn't really work anymore. So I haven't really built too much more of this map since then. I mean, you'll see little odds and ends that I've done over time, but like you see Portcullis House here, which we're looking at right now, originally this and these buildings that you see over here, they were all originally built out of wool, because wool obviously came in lots of different colours, so you could make really interesting buildings with it. But then, of course, as Minecraft went through multiple versions, I went into MC Edit and changed them to concrete so that they wouldn't burn down.
It doesn't help going through different versions like that because it makes things a bit difficult to. But that's what happens. I mean, we've got loads of new updates. I don't know I don't know about all the new things at all because I haven't played Minecraft in absolutely ages.
Indeed. Check my little limousines over here.
Lovely.
These cars, lovely. So, looking at the kind of Palace of Westminster over here that we've got, it was a good build. There are things, though, these days, if I, was rebuilding this map, that I would change. Like, for example, these things here, for example, they're supposed to have, like, proper spires on them. But back in the day, I didn't build the spires because I wasn't that good at building. I wasn't, at least not as good as I kind of am now. Which, if I could change that, I would. And again, like pretty much every other building on this map, there's no actual interiors. It's all just kind of external. So I would have had to put like facades within them just to make it look like there's stuff there. We got like another tower over here, which is pretty good. But man, it's just incredible to think, how much I built, just using a combination of MC Edit and then just doing things in game. It looks like stuff. Oh God.
Yeah, there are some really good.
Ooh,
Really
got a
good,
bit of a world hole over here. Yeah,
oh,
again.
yes, that's gone right through, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's unfortunate because I guess this is probably because Minecraft has been through so many updates, and of course this map was originally created in a much earlier version of the game. So
yeah,
it's probably where the map files obviously been corrupted over time, and unfortunately it's kind of gone through
world holes through the sort of sliced through the map,
which is unfortunate. But we have some MPs down here, aka sheep, inside what remains of the.
They're obviously debating the next act. They're like,
Yes.
Should we allow Andrew to be living?
Oh dear, that's a act that I never knew was going through the House of Commons at the moment. Indeed. Oh yes, it looks like we've got part of a bus over here that's been sort of cut off.
Really seen
Yeah, better days, hasn't it?
God, no.
Man. Because the thing is, back in the day, the whole plan was that I would kind of extend London out in several directions, so it was fairly big, and I was planning I'd do a whole section down here as well, where, getting towards things like where MI5 is located and things like that, but unfortunately it just never came to pass, unfortunately. But I did build up a fair amount.
Reveal the location headquarters of MI5. Oh my goodness me, no, that would be awful.
Everyone knows where it is. It's in Thames House or whatever it's called. And over here we have Westminster Abbey.
Westminster Abbey.
I know.
Yes.
Well, now this was a fucking great build. That was, again, still nothing on the inside, but it was pretty good. St Margaret's Church as well over here.
A few royal weddings have happened in Westminster Abbey.
Indeed, yeah. See, again, this is a build which I'm kind of proud of, even if I would sort of change aspects of it now, today. But yeah, again, I had to do a lot of this in MC Edit because obviously, like these big sort of like buttressing structures, I had to like copy and paste them multiple times. Like the towers, certain elements of the walls and things like that had to be copy pasted to get them in. But it was great. At the time when I built this, I felt such a sense of achievement.
Yeah, well, I can see it's a crack of a build. It's better than I could do. My buildings when I used to play Minecraft were just awful. Honestly, I could hardly do anything. But there you go.
Yeah. So Westminster Abbey, right there, ladies and gentlemen. But that's not it for London. There's still a huge amount, and that's just the London section. We haven't yet got onto the kind of two time periods that I was building. As you can see, bit of an unfinished building there. I remember never really kind of finishing that one, but we do have some buildings off over here. Also, I should show off Protesters' Corner over here on the square. Yeah. Now, this will show you just how dated this map actually is when you see some of these signs, ladies and gents. So, Protesters' Corner, for anyone who isn't aware, is a strip alongside the road just outside Parliament where you get a lot of political protesters setting up camps over various issues. What have we got here? I worked, I toiled, where's my bonus? It's time for change, savers unite, there's no logic in the city, greed. It's probably all to do, of course, with 2011, that was the period of political austerity and all that. Remember Chernobyl, remember Fukushima, no to nuclear. Say no to shale gas, frack off, green energy equals good energy.
Oh God, the fracking scenario. I remember that, where they didn't like us drilling for shale gas and all that sort of stuff.
Oppose the cuts, public sector workers unite. Hands off our NHS, cuts. No more cuts, no more misery, save our benefits, save our welfare, make our voice heard. Put the axe away, George. That was a reference to George Osborne. Good Lord, he's not been Chancellor of the Exchequer for a long, long time. Don't cut healthcare. £9,000 tuition fees per year? No way. God.
Well, that's still the case at the moment. Yeah. We've still got some crazy tuition fees.
Indeed, yeah. God, that was because the thing is, this map was being built predominantly back in the day when we were still undergraduate students. When, of course, the £9,000 a year thing was coming in. Oh God.
Yeah,
Bush Blair,
we luckily got in when it was just 3,000.
Yeah.
But then it moved up to 9,000 because people are scaggy bastards and like to increase tuition fees and maintenance fees.
Yeah, so the thing is, I put a lot of these signs here, not because I was trying to make some kind of political message, just because I was trying to go for signs that would be sort of accurate to what kind of signs you see on Protesters' Corner outside Parliament. But I had the idea that maybe further down the line I would change them. I would make them really ridiculous into like silly things for comedy value. But yeah, now like you see a lot of these like vehicles along here. I seem to recall a lot of these vehicles were added in.
Look at that as well. What you've done there, you've got the subway lines.
Yes. That's
subway,
right. Yeah. The tube stations. We'll come to the tubes actually in a second because there's a lot about those that I can actually say. Because I built like a whole Westminster tube station underneath all here, and you'll see it in a second, ladies and gents, once we've actually explored all this outer area up here. So then where we have these big friggin' buildings, these big Whitehall structures. Again, these were amazing when I built them just because of how big they were. But again, there's not really anything actually in them.
In interiors, most of the time we probably wouldn't be going in them.
Yeah, because the plan wasn't really to go into any of these buildings. It was just to sort of tour around on the outside. And
because before we got sucked up and away.
Yeah, indeed. And we'll come to the dimension where Duke Diesel was going to take London to in a second. Once we've shown all of this off. But like I say, I was just so proud of a lot of these builds, even if there wasn't anything actually in them, just because of how massive they were. Because the thing is, me, if there's one thing about Minecraft that I do like, it's the creative mode, because I'm a creative kind of person, and these were by far some of the biggest friggin' things I'd ever built in Minecraft.
Yeah, it's good as creative mode. Because obviously you don't have to worry about enemies and everything, and you can just build to your heart's content. Because that's one of the key things of Minecraft as well, doing the survival. It's this moment where you can build, and obviously there's so many people who've built so many big things.
Yeah,
isn't there?
Indeed.
I remember the one about the Danish government building the whole of Denmark.
Yeah, I heard about that. That was pretty impressive.
Until some stupid fucking Americans came in and destroyed it all.
Oh God.
They griefed it.
Oh wow, that's not Jesus. That is not what you want. So you've got I think these are the Norman Shaw buildings. They're called these two sort of here with the kind of sandstone and red brick design on them, which I think are used by like civil servants and things like that. And then you've got another big building over here, and we're sort of getting towards the full extent of this side of the kind of overworld section of London. But yeah, it's just
London.
Such a build, man. And like I say, I do come back sometimes, and I do little bits of work. Not because I have any intention of this map actually. I do
all over it.
I do all over it. Yes. Got the cenotaph down here, which is literally just a white concrete obelisk. But yeah, sadly, Minecraft, it's difficult to kind of do minute detailings on certain things, but it's there. Yeah. And the thing is, the plan originally was that, of course, over here, where you see the beginnings of this kind of street, this would be Downing Street, would have been.
Oh, would it? Is that where you're going to do Downing Street?
Yeah.
The old Prime Minister's abode.
Yeah, because again, of course, I was trying to make the sort of map as kind of closely accurate to real-life London as realistically I could get it, and that's where Downing Street would have been, just after these two big sort of Whitehall government buildings. But yeah, there's like the arch down there, which is kind of separating these two buildings over here, which is pretty good. Yep. Yes, we have a tourist over here. Citizen. Yeah, indeed.
Oh, he's a tourist. Okay,
tourist citizen, one or the other. Take your pick, ladies and gents. Yeah, but as you can see, there are actually some sort of buildings over here where you can see I kind of did put a facade inside them. I mean, you can still kind of see there's actually nothing in that one, but there is one building, I think it's actually over here, that you can go into. Where was it? I think it was this one over here.
Some interior stuff.
Yes, it was this one. It's the Red Lion pub, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that is one of the most common pub names in the UK, the Red Lion. We do call a lot of our pubs the Red Lion. Not sure why, but it's the most famous and most popular name throughout the whole of the UK.
I think it probably because the Red Lion is probably like a common royal heraldic symbol, and of course we as being the UK being a country with a long kind of history of monarchy, things like that. I think it kind of makes sense probably that would be a fairly common pub name. Granted, I imagine there's probably a lot of pub names in the UK which are inspired by kind of royalty and like royal symbols and things like that, like Rose and Crown, stuff like that. Probably. Yeah,
absolutely. We have a lot of those.
Indeed.
Common names as well. We've got the Black Bull, that's a common one.
Yeah.
I think horses as well.
Yeah, that's usually, there's common pub names in the UK, and usually there's kind of fairly simple explanation as to why it is.
The Phil is so amazing. Oh my God, why has someone named a pub after him?
The Royal Phil. There we go.
The Royal Phil.
Indeed, right. So I've shown you kind of the basics of the surface of London. Now we're going to go down into Westminster Tube Station, but we're not going to go in from that entrance. Instead, we're going to go in from, I think, the entrance all the way back over here outside the Houses of Parliament, because before we go down there, I don't know how you will remember this, Phil, but because the thing is, at one point we did get this map on a server, and we did have a team of people who were helping us out.
It wasn't just us two. We did have some people who were going to help us out and get everything done.
Yeah, and so I remember back in the day when I built Westminster Tube Station. The thing to know about this is this is the one part of the London map where I kind of had to sacrifice accuracy because I didn't really have any reference pictures for Westminster Tube, so I kind of used my imagination in essence.
You wingdinged it.
Yeah, I basically took some artistic liberty. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah.
Now, back in the day, when I originally built Westminster Tube Station, it was very bland. It was basically just a series of long grey corridors with not really anything in them, which, I always thought to myself, I'm going to come back and I'm going to redesign them. And the thing is, in the years since really this project kind of died, I did actually come back and I did redesign a lot of Westminster Tube Station. So you're going to see not the original design of it, you're going to see what I've kind of done to it over time. But
that's what we like to see.
What I wanted to do was basically fill out some of the corridors so they weren't kind of just long and featureless. And as we come in here, you can see I basically put lots of shops and things down here.
Because you have that in the tube station. I don't know if people have seen, but the London tube system is one of the most extensive in the world.
Indeed, yeah.
And it was also a little fact about London's tube station. It was the first subway system in the world.
Indeed.
It was the first line, which I believe was the Metropolitan line back in the late 1800s.
Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. So as you can see, I basically put in a load of shops because in any tube station, any train station in the UK, you'll get tons and tons of retail built up around it. And so this is one section of the map where actually there's a lot of interiors. And
have you been to Euston State, London Euston? Oh my God, it's like an airport.
It is, isn't it?
It's like an airport in that station. Yeah.
So we've got Jim's newsagents, the rather generic newsagent over here, and we've got all these puns that I basically made. So obviously with name tags now and things like that on anvils in Minecraft, you can sort of name objects and stuff.
Yeah.
So now I've basically created this newsagent, this rather generic newsagent shop, and I've got all these strange like newspaper and things going on here. So you can get some unsold copies of the big issue, Phil.
Okay, right.
The Daily Telecrap.
That's it. We like our newsagents.
Another tabloid rag. I can't think of another pun. That one's called. Murdoch's latest acquisition. Der Spiegel's the Germans.
We've got the German newspaper. Don't know what that's doing in here, but there we go.
The Daily Nail instead of the Daily Mail. The Daily Express.
Oh my God.
Or the one with the page 3 girls. Do you like my puns? Yes.
Oh God, unbelievable.
Yeah. The thing is, like, a lot of these shops actually have like back rooms and things to them for like staff rooms. So if you go in like the newsagent staff only thing, you got like the little kiosk here with the cigarettes and batteries and liquors that they're selling. That's basically all I could do by way of like a shelf, just using stair blocks. And then they have like a little toilet for the staff member back here, so they've got it. And the thing is, I actually renamed these hoppers using anvil, so it actually says sink, and I think this one in here, actually says toilet. It's got like a toilet lid. There you go. Yeah. So you can go into a lot of these shops. Yeah. You've got like the visitor centre, tourist information, so you can like go in these. You can like buy your little stationery, things like that.
Yeah. So it's just little shops that you put along the way.
Yeah. We'll take a look at these shops though, because a lot of them are basically puns on actual real life shops. We don't need to go through every. I mean, thing is, like, some of the kind of places that I built are not actually filled up. So yeah, Loyal Mail Post Office, Phil, you can go in here.
Because we know that the Royal Mail is good with losing stuff.
Yes. Don't need to necessarily show all of these, but
Cafe Nero. Just showing a brief synopsis of various things.
Yeah. Cafe Nero, Roman Emperors only, Phil. You can't come in here unless you're Roman Emperor. And yeah, I remember putting all kinds of things on here. So you can get a cappuccino, a frappuccino, an Al Pacino.
Mocha.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Cafe Nero is a coffee shop in the UK, for those who don't know.
You can get your syrup infusions: vanilla, caramel, cinnamon, mercury, arsenic, or semen. Jesus.
I beg your pardon?
Yes. Basically, I had real fun with these friggin' cafes that I built, putting stupid things on their menus by way of silly jokes.
Out the place, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, down here we then have just like toilets and baby changing rooms over here, which there's not really much in them. Nothing really exciting. But as we go down here, so this is something that I've worked on in my spare time from time to time, actually creating more of like an interesting kind of station with these kind of big notice boards. It's supposed to be like the interactive boards.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So this one's not actually filled up, but the one at the far end, as we get closer to it, it'll draw in and you'll see more stuff on that one. We have an unfinished shop over here. What was this supposed to be? This was supposed to be Starbucks coffee instead of Starbucks.
Because if we use the other one, we could get sued.
Yeah,
and we don't want to get into trouble.
And then we have Bill Clinton's instead of Clinton's cards, and every single one of these in here actually has a tag on it. For the romance section, there's one that just says "Get a room." Oh dear. Do better next time, bitch. Oh dear. Yes, it's like a lot of these cards are basically meant to be sort of normal, but then every so often there's like a pun one or a joke one in there. You failed. What an idiot. Oh dear.
Happy birthday. Yes, that's like Clinton's cards.
Clinton's cards.
You get your. We've got a nice central area there.
Yeah. What have we got here? We've got Slaughterbones, the bookshop, instead of Waterstones. This one.
I thought that was more. It sounded more like a pun for like a butcher's.
Yeah.
Really.
It's just thundering in the background. Let me just do weather clear. Now this one does have something hidden in it. Actually, a couple of things. We've got a section for arcane and forbidden text, and the Necronomicon is there on sale. But if we go sort of around here, are you 18 or over, Phil? This is important. We need to know.
Yes, the best bit. We're going to the adult section.
Yeah, so it's got a hidden adult section in here.
We can look at all the pornos.
Adult section, XXX, prawn. What's this? The Get Good at Smecks guide. Fetishes A to Z by Kinkiness, 18 plus. Minecraft Steve Uncensored.
Oh my god.
Erotic photography. What's that? You got to use protection. That says hentai dojins, the Kama Sutra. Everything you could ever want is in this little hidden room. Yeah, so it was just a weird little Easter egg that I put in.
It's funny that.
Indeed. Yeah. So then we come to Costa Latte coffee instead of Costa coffee. What did I put on the signs over here? So I put small coffee, big coffee, white coffee, black coffee, Irish coffee, coffee, I hate coffee, John coffee, Susan coffee. There's celebrity references and things like that. Italy, fuck yeah. For an extra £5, our staff will come to your table and say, "It's a Mario," in their most stereotypical Italian accent.
Of course.
What have we got over here? Just a slightly suggestive sign that says, "Do it, get that juicy, succulent sausage deep in your mouth."
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, dear, yes.
Very childish, aren't you?
Yes, I am, but what can you do, eh? Oh, yeah, then we have HIV over here instead of HMV.
Oh, God.
And basically a lot of their stuff just seems to be out of stock, it appears, because, Minecraft only has a limited amount of different types of music disc.
Yeah.
What can you do?
They increased them, but still not very many, are there?
Darude Sandstorm is apparently out of stock, Phil. I think there's something else in here. I'm trying to find what it was. I'm pretty sure there was something, that is. Where is it? If I can find it. Hold on, I'll locate it in a second. Come on. There we go. There it is.
Oh,
the British Music Maestro out of stock. There you go. Sold out.
Out of stock. Oh God, people must love my work.
Indeed. And then over here we have S&M conveniences instead of M&S. So you can tell what the theme in here is probably going to be a little bit once we get to these signs. Hot drinks menu, white coffee, black coffee. We're not prejudiced here at S&M. We're going to sexually brutalise all of you. Oh dearie me, how terrible. Sweat from inside a latex S&M bodysuit. And because this is obviously based on M&S, which is a bit more high quality, you can get special Marmite and jelly deal as something good. Caviar and herring, because, apparently this is special.
Marks & Spencer's a very sort of premium shop.
Yeah.
They are quite expensive.
The Super S&M Dominatrix Special. Moist, meaty sub. Something saucy and something steamy. This isn't just a cafe, it's a sadomasochistic cafe, Phil.
Oh, my goodness me.
Oh dear, yes, but we had all kinds of, I put all kinds of silly things in these shops. What's this one? CO2 instead of O2 for mobile phones. Everything again seems to be out of stock. Even got a tech
mobile
phone
thing. Shops. That's one of our network providers.
Looks like these ones up here are unfinished. Slugway, eat mess. That was going to be Subway.
Oh, because of course their actual slogan for Subway is eat fresh, isn't it?
Yeah. What was this one? This was going to be Murray's Feces World.
Except you're not very fresh, are you, Subway? Especially with you. I've talked to you about this, about their tuna.
Yeah, you have.
It's
not that good.
Reconstituted shite.
Indeed.
Yeah. And they got done for that.
We have the proper sort of display board over here. Now, I think there were references on here to some of the time periods we were going to go to, if I can find them. France, for example, was one place we were going to go. You'll see that one. The Caribbean, that was going to be another one. We'll talk about these in a sec. Was there any others? Japan and the US. And Atlantis. That was going to be another place that we visited. Right, what I'm going to do next, before we get to this whole section over here, just avert your eyes, children, don't look. We're just going to go over here. That's the other side of S&M Conveniences. But over here we have Bottom Shop, aka Top Shop, where it has clothing,
that's
basically.
A clothing store, isn't it? Yeah.
Smart shoes, women's boots, high-vis work boots, casual blue loafers, outdoor boots or ballet shoes.
If you like your ballet.
If you like your ballet, indeed. And here we have WH Shit. Oh dear. The basically bookstore news agents and all that, and where you can get snacks and things. More toilets over here. I'm not really interested in those. And then we come to the sort of main area of the station. Now this, as you can see, went through a lot of work in my own sort of spare time.
Yeah,
because again, like you'll see a lot of these areas over here, again, they're sort of built out of white concrete / quartz.
Yeah.
Which, of course, back in the day when we originally built this map, that wasn't a thing in Minecraft. So, again, this is an area I revisited in years gone by and kind of rebuilt. And I'll showcase more of that in due course. Damn it, it's thundering again in the background. Let me just clear the weather once more.
Oh, yeah, it makes it quite noisy when it's thundering.
Yeah. Burger Kong, we're over here. So, what can you get in here? Coke, not the drug. That's it for drinks. Vegetarian options, GTFO. Burgers, cheese, bacon. Burger with extra spit. Lovely. Baked beans, don't get too excited. It's just Heinz. Fries. Okay, here's an interesting one. Fries, all your options. Well done, overdone, underdone, frozen. No fries, apparently costs more. Curly fries, fried fries, Stephen fries. Jacob and Evie fries.
A bit of an Assassin's Creed reference there to Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I basically put that one in specially for you, Phil, for the Assassin's Creed reference. And then over on this side we have McDonalds. So what do we have in this one? A Big Muck meal, pink slime, an unhealthy salad, child's unhappy meal. There's just a sign that says "Help, my wife is leaving me."
Oh dear.
Oh god, my phone's going in the background. Hold on, I'll just jump and find out what that is, ladies and gents. Alright, back in there. Just
there we are.
Me old folks telling me about how they've visited Hadrian's Wall today. Yeah. Our sourcing guarantee, Phil. We love Britain, but not that much, so all our meat is sourced from Brazilian beef ranches instead.
That's it.
Of course.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Good on McDonald's.
Yeah.
Go visit there sometime soon.
So now we have the food court over here with all the seats, and now we get into sort of this main area of the station itself. So, as you can see, I sort of redecorated this with the Transport for London colours.
I assume these are supposed to be ticket booths?
Yeah, these are the ticket booths over here. But I also made these self-service ticket machine things out of just random blocks. So they actually have London Underground day passes in them. Of course. And you can sort of... hold on, if I don't there we go. Okay, I accidentally just knocked that out without meaning to, but never mind. I'll take all the day passes and replace that in due course. Something I think loaded in the background just then, and it momentarily freaked out for a second. But yeah, we've got all the self-service ticket machines there, and then you go over this side, and you've got so I think these are supposed to be customer inquiries booths over here.
Right.
And then we have all these things: public notices and advertisements. To place a notice, please call Bob on 0800 adverts. and then just silly signs. This isn't just a new fashion. This is a new S&M fashion. Buy Nobody's magazine, the magazine nobody reads, now 10p. Oh, and here's an interesting one. Looking for some naughty fun? Pay a visit not to Stringfellows, but Stringfellas.
Stringfellas.
The legally distinct version of Stringfellow. And then we have a meme. The cost of placing adverts here is too damn high. Plumbers needed but not wanted due to their high prices. Repairs on Jubilee Line, delays expected. General Red needs you to join the Red Empire. Self-plugging.
Cool. Oh, my goodness me.
Emily Browning was here.
Oh, yeah, was she? What was
yes,
she doing here?
Apparently she was, old boy. Then we come over to this side over here. I put in these vending machines. You can get a nice drink of Coca-Cola, Phil, which I think...
Pound a drink.
Basically gives you 45 seconds of poison. It's a splash potion. Iron Brew, which is Scottish energy drink of Scottishness, gives you speed, strength and nausea. As of course. An in-game Sprite, which is a jump boost.
Oh, that's what...
Quality drinks, aren't they? Quality soft drinks. Yeah, nice puns. Then we've got the ticket readers over here, where you go through the little...
Of course, you can go you put your Oyster card through.
Indeed. Yeah. Now, so in the original build of this tube station, there were only two train... Well, there are still only two train platforms. These two that you see here. As you can see, I did sort of start trying to build another one, so I also colour-coded them based on the actual lines that go through Westminster Station. So we got the green for the District Line over here, which
the District Line
hasn't been
green,
built. What was the yellow one? Was it Circle Line? That was the one. We'll go down to these stations in a sec.
And the grey is Jubilee.
Jubilee, yeah. So... First one we'll just go down to Circle Line, because as you can see it's all very grey. This is what the train station platforms actually originally looks like in the original build. So as you can see they look like this.
Oh wow, you've actually done the proper design of the tube lines.
Yeah, but as you can see this was kind of the original build that I did, and as you can see it's very grey, it's kind of a bit flat, it's a bit featureless, there's not really a lot to it. It has got these tube trains though, as you can see these ones are made of wool. Yeah, can you sort of get on board? Yeah, so we can go into like the little driver's cab over here. Oh god, you can sort of see into the tunnel, it's just darkness up there. We will go down one of these tunnels in a second, but yeah. So that's what the tube station platforms originally looked like, but if we go back up, we go down to the Jubilee Line. So as you can see, this one is one that I came back to in years gone by and actually redesigned it. Yeah, as you can see, I used like white concrete and quartz once again to actually give it some more colour in essence. But down here, if we actually just get down, as you can see, I just rejig the platforms a bit to give them a bit more shape.
A bit more vibrant.
And I also redid the trains to actually make them out of concrete so that they look a bit more, you know, not woolly, basically. So this isn't finished, you know. I think the intention was I was going to like replace these sort of grey brick walls over here with more white, like concrete and stuff. I was probably going to put things like benches and vending machines down the sides to fill it out a bit, give it a few more features. But this gives you an idea of what the tube station ultimately was going to look like. Yeah.
Unfortunately, some of the tube lines in the UK, some of them are really nice and historical. Yeah. You can see them. But then we do have tube lines that are quite clinical.
Yeah, we do. Probably sort of like the more modern ones, rather. Flies buzzing around in my room. But yeah, so this is what the updated tube train interior actually looks like. It's now got these
quite snazzy.
Yeah, quartz benches, and actually it's made of concrete, which just makes it a bit more colourful. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Can't get out.
Go through there. There we go. Right. So yeah, that's the tube station for Westminster. Then we need to go off down here into the tunnel, because I think this is the right route to what we need to see next. So, you guys remember at the start of the video when we were crossing over the Thames and there was that big spaceship under the water? Well, we're about to make our way to there. So, if I just turn the light on for this maintenance passage down here.
Okay.
There we go, down this way. So hopefully this will still work. Yeah. Going to the generator room over here. Now, where do we go from here? What's that say? Please monitor for groundwater seepage. Report excess seepage to the site maintenance manager. Yeah, please ensure all groundwater seepage drains kept clear. I think we have to go, just down into the drainage system if I can. Yes, that's right. And then it's over here, I do think. So this should take us to an access point that lets us basically get into the spaceship that you saw a moment ago, the Aeon Avenger craft.
Look at that. So
yeah. Aha, here we are. So like I say, hopefully this works. Now, I used command blocks here. I just sort of left them kind of out in the open. Because thing is, this section that you're seeing here was somewhere that I wasn't intending would be shown in the actual, video recordings. Once, if we actually got round to recording the story, this would be something that we could just basically use off camera to get into the spaceship and back out. But hopefully this should act as a teleporter, and hopefully, it works. There we go. So we're inside the teleportation room of the Aeon Avenger starship now. Now I haven't been in here for a long time, so I need to try and remember the layout of it. Central stern defences over. Oh yeah, it's got like these little turrets on the end here.
Lots of shooting on. Yeah,
indeed.
This would be the good guys.
Yeah. So they'd be sort of hiding out underneath the Thames in their spaceship here. So yeah, we have those like the defensive turrets on both sides.
Yeah, always hiding out.
Yeah.
Got to kill off that Duke Diesel.
Indeed. Defeat. So basically the idea was Duke Diesel would be sort of... he would have basically what's called the Diesel Empire, the Diesel Guard at his disposal. Yeah, and we've got like a underside turret over here. As you can see, again, the bed of the River Thames is a bit sort of flat and bland and doesn't really have anything on it. But the thing is, that's something actually that in more recent updates of Minecraft, I could probably actually fix that. Because modern Minecraft now, you can put things like seaweed and stuff like that to give it.
You can, can't you?
Yeah, a mess chamber, which is actually very small, and they have a lot of raw cod.
Oh dear! Ooh, okay.
Yeah, a very fishy diet. Systems maintenance chamber, just like an engine room kind of thing. Medical chamber over here.
In case you get a bit illikins.
With bio-nanotech medicine, which is basically probably healing potions.
Oh god, you don't want those inside your nanobots.
We'll go to the upper deck in a second. What's down here? Underside bow turrets, that's just another underside turret down there. And central bow defences on this side.
So you've got some more defences for some more shooting.
Indeed. So, more defensive stuff over there. Let's get to the upper deck. And see what was actually up there. Again, this is another build that I was actually quite proud of because I quite liked this spaceship.
It's an interesting spaceship, isn't it?
Yeah. Starboard bow turret. There's like side turrets over here. That just goes up to a top side turret.
Right.
So it's got a lot of turrets because obviously it's a fighting vessel, basically.
Well, you've got to have guns, haven't you?
Indeed. I was kind of wondering sometimes if, back in the day, if I could have used like command blocks to do some kind of wizardry whereby you can make things like TNT blocks spawn in midair and fire forward and things like that, maybe.
Yeah.
So
you can also make the TNT cannons, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And then we're in the cockpit over here.
The driving force of our ship.
Indeed, which has all these command blocks with nothing really. Well, some of them have stuff on, but others don't.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you could sort of like seal off the cockpit.
As well.
Yeah, like that.
You don't want anyone just walking in.
Indeed. There you go. And then down here we have the habitation, which is basically just a load of beds.
Yeah.
Indeed. The hygiene chamber over here with decontamination pods.
Yeah, so decontamination pods, right.
Yeah, it says they're active and things like that. That just goes back out here, but it's just the hygiene chamber again. A starboard turn. Dimensional shifting. Oh, okay. So we'll go through here in a second. As you can see, we've got a big end portal. Basically, we were going to use the end to represent the diesel dimension, where Duke Diesel and his guys come from. You'll see in a second. Wasn't anything else.
Well, we might as well save that for the video, because I think it'd be good to split the various, because we did a few time zones. So if we leave this one just to London and the space,
that's a good idea.
We can obviously do, we did two the time zones, and then just like that.
Indeed, because the thing is,
it's a big build.
This is a big fucking build, and it's not even a complete map, you know. In fact, I only really ever built like a small fraction of what I intended to build. Yeah. As you can see, that small fraction is still pretty huge. So yeah, we'll do that actually. In the next episode, we'll go through and I'll showcase what the diesel dimension was going to look like. And then, of course, after that, in subsequent episodes, we'll look at the 2 time periods that I did construct, or at least construct most of. And and as we're going through, I'll explain, or we'll explain rather, more about what time periods we were going to go to.
Yes, absolutely.
Things like that.
We shall certainly do that to explain what's going on.
Indeed. Yeah. So thanks for joining me there, Phil. And we'll get recording the next stage of the guided tour as soon as possible. Other than that, we'll wrap up here. So Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with the links to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. If you enjoyed, don't forget, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And join us for part 2, which we'll get recording fairly soon. And remember, beware of anomalous space-time properties, ladies and gentlemen.
Beware.
Indeed. Goodbye, everybody. And now there's a wind. Oh, shit. A fair few of those bad boys over there. Well, fuck that. We're not going to be able to go in that direction now, are we? We just have to evade. Oh, God, she's like auto-locked onto the nearest zombie. Okay, I've got to watch out. Okay, just go. Fucking get moving. Jesus, there's a lot of them here. Through here. I don't want to deal with them. Let's stay and go to the old city pool, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently this game, from what I understand, is not long. It should only take a few minutes to actually play it. I'm going to do a thing with the statue. James Sunderland. Is James Sunderland not the protagonist of Silent Hill 2? I could have sworn he was, unless it's James something. I'm sure his name is James, isn't it? There's got to be a reference.